Excellent. So welcome everybody to Loafer's Lake Rec Center, rec center that's near and dear to my heart. Lived in this area. I've swam in this lake. We used to have fishing derbies in Loafer's Lake. It was a long time ago, but certainly something that my father absolutely loved being a part of and representing this area. My name is Michael Pleshy for Wards 2 and 6 in the city of Brampton. I'm joined here today by our Honorable Mayor Brown. Thank you for coming, Patrick. And Councillor Brar, newly elected. Thank you for coming, Councillor Brar. In 2014, the City of Brampton released its first Brampton Grow Green Environmental Master Plan. And since then, the plan has been consistently reviewed to ensure its continuity and relevance. Recognizing the multifaceted nature of environmental sustainability, the Brampton Grow Green Environmental Master Plan is organized around 6 core components: people, air, water, land, energy, and waste. I was pleased to work closely with MPP McGregor and the Heart Lake Turtle Troopers when the opportunity to submit an application for the funding came up. It's the Heart Lake Turtle Troopers in partnership with the TRCA that will be doing the heavy lifting and protecting the snapping turtles at Loafer's Lake. The Heart Lake Turtle Troopers are a volunteer organization that protects and monitors local turtle population through citizen science. I would like to take a moment to share with all of you that I have seen firsthand all their hard work and dedication, and I am so proud that the Heart Lake Turtle Troopers are part of the community in Ward 2. I would like to thank the Honorable David Piccini, Minister of Environmental Conservation and Parks, for being here today so we could share with you how important this announcement is to our community. I'd also like to thank MPP McGregor for our continued collaboration when it comes to supporting our community. And I have to say, MPP McGregor has been somebody that's represented this community on such the short term that he has with unbelievable tenacity. He is somebody that has worked so hard in this community so fast. Anytime there's a program, anytime there's something that can be done here in the riding that he represents, he's on the phone to me asking how we can get it done or if he needed my support. So I really want to thank Graham for all of the work he did on this. And finally, I'd like to thank the province of Ontario for its ongoing support to Brampton to realize the city's Brampton Grow Green vision. We require support from our leadership, ongoing education, sector-wide collaboration and persistence. Collaborative efforts like these are an important way to make things happen. And now, with further ado, I'd like to introduce Graham McGregor.
Wow. Thank you, Councillor, and thank you, everybody, for being here. I got to say, as one of my earliest memories as a kid was coming down here for swimming lessons with my mother and sitting on the hill right over there looking at the geese in the lake. And now that we've brought the Minister of the Environment for all of Ontario and his wonderful team out here today, it's a very cool feeling. And I first and foremost, I wouldn't get to do this without the people that were here that supported me in June, and I just thank you very much for the opportunity to do this. This is a very cool experience for me. Thank you to Councillor Pleshy for that wonderful introduction. I'm pleased to be here for a great announcement, and I want to note I'm grateful to be here and joined by Mayor Patrick Brown, Councillor Michael Pleshy, Councillor Navjeet Kaur Brar, the Honourable David Piccini. Please give this man a big round of applause. Our Minister of the Environment. As well as a number of our environmentally focused organizations here today. We've got Bill Godfrey from People Against Littering. We've got David and Dale Lang from the Brampton Environmental Alliance. We've got, of course, our wonderful Heart Lake Turtle Troopers, Christina Laurie, and many other members of the team, Victoria. and as well, my very dear friend, community activist extraordinaire, and our local Facebook group moderator, Leo O'Brien. And I got to tell a story about my friend Leo. When I was running for office, first off, I don't think before he met me, Leo would never trust a conservative as far as he could throw him. But we came down here and we did a little walk around Loafer's Lake, and we talked about our local ecosystem and our shared priority around it. And we're actually walking. You can't see it with the winter now, and I promise we'll make some summer announcements as well. But you can't see it here. Right underneath the shoreline is something called a gabion basket. And I remember asking him about it, and I said, I saw he was showing all the natural features. I saw these kind of rocks with a fence, and I said, okay, is that, I'm not an expert in anything except being a Brampton resident. So I said, is that, intentional? Like what is that? And he said, well, Graham, that's a gabion basket. And then I looked at him blankly, and he says, you don't know what the heck that is, do you? And I said, no, I don't. So he explained it to me, and he talked about some of the challenges that we have. And including, so a lot of the turtles that get rescued, and you see the boxes here today that protect the hatchlings. A lot of them that get rescued, when they walk out onto the gabion basket, they actually fall into the cracks, and they're very easy victims for predators, and a lot of them don't get to make it. And a turtle takes 60 years to replace themselves. And over the course of a mother turtle's life, I think they'll have about 1,400 babies. Which is, Christina's nodding her head, I got the number right. Which means that, a lot of these little hatchlings don't get to make it. So anything we can do to make that easier is always a priority. So taking that knowledge and fast forward a little bit, I talked to the Minister of the Environment about it. He called me and he said, Graham, I've got a great opportunity for you. And this is one of the things that I love about the Honorable David Piccini. He's not a talker, he's a doer. And all the people that I just mentioned, they're not talkers, they're doers. We've had enough talkers come to Brampton. We need some people to do it. But I talked to him about it. We had the grant. I called up the mayor, called up Councillor Paleshi. We got the application in. I'll stop meandering. The result is that it's my privilege to announce that our provincial government is investing $74,605 through the Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks Species at Risk Stewardship Fund, Species at Risk Stewardship Program to the City of Brampton to undertake on-the-ground work to protect our turtles here at Loafer's Lake. I couldn't be more stoked as a boy that grew up in Heart Lake that still walks around here quite often. They say you're a product of your environment that you grow up in. I want to make sure we leave the best environment possible for our kids that are growing up here in Heart Lake, and this is one step on how we do that. I want to give a shout out to the Heart Lake Turtle Troopers for outstanding dedication. Again, this is a volunteer group. Yeah. It's incredible what they do for our local ecosystem. And I want to hammer that point home. Being in Brampton, we'd always hear a lot of talkers, right? And every election, one of them comes up to your door. And I'm not saying I don't like to talk. I can talk too, as you can tell. But what we need in Brampton, what we've always needed, are doers. And this team that we have here, that you see beside me, the team that we have in the audience here, they're a bunch of doers. And trust me when I say, this is just the beginning. We're going to get a lot more done for the neighborhood. With that, thank you to the City of Brampton, obviously our political representation. Want to give a shout out to city staff, Michael Hoy and his team as well as John McKenzie, Victoria, the team at the TRCA for lending their expertise. We really appreciate the collaborative effort. Together we can achieve great things. This is one of those great things. And with that, please give a warm Loafer's Lake, Brampton North round of applause for the Honorable David Piccini, our Environment Minister.
Thank you, Graham. It's wonderful to be here. Good morning, everybody. Really excited to be here at Loafer's Lake, to be back. I was here a few months ago when Graham was and the team were showing me the challenges faced by this community and the turtles. And so it's an honor to be here with all of you today, MPP McGregor, councillors, Mayor Brown, and most importantly, the incredible team, Heart Lake Turtle Troopers, and other environmental organizations that are here. Thank you. I really appreciate the work that you do. I really enjoyed my last trip here, and I know since then, Heart Lake Turtle Troopers, not because of our trip, but since then you've been famous on the Weather Network for saving the red-eared slider. I cracked a big smile when I saw that on the Weather Network, and of course joined. That was a team effort with Brampton Animal Rescue and Fire and Emergency Services to save that turtle. And ultimately, it's in that sense of community and in that sense of coming together to support our environment that I'm here today. And I wouldn't be here if not for MPP McGregor's leadership. You know, in the short time, I've blinked since the summer, Graham has become a mainstay at Queen's Park and has been an absolute champion. He's a pit bull. I'm a big fan of pit bulls too, and he's one. And he's his tenacity and his work ethic is second to none. So really appreciate the fact that Graham will really lean in to community organizations and to support them and be a strong voice for Brampton. So thank you, Graham, for all that you do. I'm really proud to be here today to announce that as a part of that $74,000 plus announcement, Ontario government is investing over $4.5 million to protect species at risk. That includes over 30 projects across the province of Ontario, because we know that protecting our environment cannot only be the business of government. It needs to be our shared collective responsibility. That's on full display here. We're supporting community stewardship projects, working in partnership with groups like the Heart Lake Turtle Troopers to protect and recover species at risk. As I said, the province annually provides over $4.5 million in annual funding. This year, we're funding over 31 projects, and since 2018, the Species at Risk Stewardship Program has supported over 200 projects, most of them community-based like this one, because it's about building communities, contributing the restoration or enhancement of about 15,000 acres of critical habitat for species at risk. To give you an idea of what that means here in Brampton, that's a quarter of the size of Brampton just in the last few years that we've protected for species at risk. And it's also, and this is the most exciting statistic, it's engaged over 10,000 volunteers across Ontario. And it's created over 1,000 jobs. And that's really what this is about. When we think about the world and planet we're going to leave behind for our next generation, we must commit together to make sure it's a better one. And that means not just for the people that walk this earth, but for the four-legged, two-legged, etc. creatures that we share this earth with. And we have to do more to protect them. So I'm pleased here today to join Graham and the incredible team in Brampton. And when he said things are getting done, you know, with Mayor Brown and this incredible team in Brampton, boy, are things happening for this exciting, growing community. And it's not just for the people, it's for the species that call this community home as well. So we're going to continue working with community organizations to protect Ontario's strong track record. And that's something, regardless of political stripe, we have decades across successive governments of strong environmental stewardship. And I'm really proud that together we're continuing that legacy here at Loafer's Lake with the Heart Lake Turtle Troopers. So with that, I just want to thank all of you for being here today. It's our shared responsibility, and thank you, each and every one of you, for being a part of that. And with that, I'd like to invite up to the podium Mayor Brown. Thank you, everyone.
Well, thank you, Minister Piccini. Minister Piccini is a longtime friend. He's a great friend to the city of Brampton. We're going to have to get you an apartment here because you've been here so often. He was here yesterday meeting with a green company, but he's been out here supporting the Clean Up Brampton effort. So we appreciate the attention you're continuing to pay the city of Brampton. And I know MPP McGregor is probably nudging you towards every Brampton project possible. I want to recognize we have Councillor Power here as well. Rod, give us a wave. Rod loves the warm February, or I guess we're March, warm March weather outdoors. I also want to recognize, of course, Councillor Brar and Paleshi, who you've already heard from and will be hearing from. But I would note that our city council a year ago actually passed a motion to recognize Councillor Paleshi's father in the naming rights of this facility. It was Councillor Paleshi's father, Paul Paleshi, who many decades ago was instrumental in allowing us to have this beautiful area and to protect it. So thank you, Councillor Paleshi, for your father's leadership in protecting this critical green space. And I want to say, MPP McGregor, you have been relentless. That's enough. Go on.
Yeah, please.
But I met MPP McGregor the first time in 2012 when he was working for a Brampton MP up in the federal government, and you just knew he had a desire to serve. And ever since he got elected, he has been looking to any possible program to support the residents of Brampton North and the city of Brampton. So let me just say, it's been so refreshing having someone so diligent, so hardworking, helping with our Team Brampton efforts in the city of Brampton. So a big hand to a great MPP. When the province asked me for a quote for this news release, I actually specifically made them add in, "Thank you, MPP McGregor, for being a champion of this initiative," because I know he has taken a personal interest in turtle preservation. And so, an MPP can choose what issues they want to dive into. And the fact that you took something like the Heart Lake Turtle Troopers and made it a cause that you would rally provincial attention by is significant. The Minister of the Environment gets pulled in many directions. You pulled them to Brampton for the cause of saving turtles. And so on behalf of our community, I want to say thank you. And I would note, there is a proud history in Brampton of being passionate about the environment. Councillor Paleshi and Brar are probably tired of me saying this, but it was Bill Davis in 1972 that created the first Ministry of the Environment. It's part of our DNA in Brampton to care about the environment. And so when I hear about an MPP, whether it's species at risk or cleaning up local parks or looking at how we can meet our emission reduction targets, I'm so proud, because that is something that I know Bramptonians care passionately about. And so I welcome today's announcement. I look forward to what this funding is going to do to make sure that we are a city that has a vibrant turtle habitat. I think the local pet population agrees with that. And I would say lastly to Graham, my son Theodore will be very proud of your efforts today. He's a big fan of turtles. I had him out this summer to see the Heart Lake Turtle Troopers, and they had a great event. I think it was just down there earlier this.
Fun Days happening again, folks, in July.
Okay, and what's it called?
Family Fun Night.
Family Fun Days. So I think my son is almost 4, so I can tell you all the little kids in the world would be in our city. We're very proud to have an MPP standing up and protecting turtles. So thank you for your service to the city of Brampton. Thank you to your service for the environment, and I believe Councillor Brar is next up to say a few words.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Brown. Good morning, everyone. It was wonderful to be here today at Loafer's Lake. I'm Navjeet Kaur Brar, your Regional Councillor for Wards 2 and 6 at the City of Brampton. Our city has come a long way since Council has approved the Brampton Grow Green Environmental Master Plan in 2014. The Brampton Grow Green has been a catalyst for many of the city's plans, policies, projects, and practices that are improving Brampton's environmental performance, quality of life, and economic development. We are building sustainability by improving transit and active transportation opportunities, focusing on energy efficiency, revitalizing natural spaces, and the urban tree canopy. Brampton was the first municipality in Ontario to procure a fully electric powered fire truck. How exciting was that? We are also We also welcomed 8 electric buses to our fleet of vehicles. And it's exciting to see that it was part of Brampton Transit and as part of our first one-of-its-kind electric bus trial. Council has endorsed a community and energy emissions reduction plan in 2020 to drive innovation, employment, and economic development while achieving our environmental and climate change goals along with its associated social benefits. Brampton has made great strides as an environmental leader, but we cannot do this alone. It was all of our volunteers and everyone who's here today. So a round of applause to everyone here today. Thank you. And volunteers from our community groups, such as the Turtle Troopers, played a valuable part in doing this work.
Here, here.
On behalf of City of Brampton, I would like to thank our partners at the provincial and the federal level for their ongoing support and funding for programs like the Species at Risk and other environmental initiatives to make Brampton a better place for people and the planet. And I would like to thank Mr. MPP McGregor for taking this initiative and bringing things like this to Brampton, because getting our fair share of Brampton is so important. Now I'd like to turn it over to Lori Leckie, co-founder of Heart Lake Turtle Troopers, the volunteer group that has devoted their time and effort in protecting the turtles in the habitat. And I just want to say, the first time I met Lori, it was our first meeting with our volunteers, and Lori kind of showed me how they were protecting the environment. And there's so many children there. And I think what the most important thing is getting our youth involved and how excited they were, the smiles on their faces, and you could tell that they were ready to get ready for our environmental change and be part of this change. So thank you so much, Lori, for bringing this, and all the community groups who has took initiative. Thank you again.
Just before Lori gets up here, why don't we just take a sec? If our friends want to walk past, we'll just short intermission to let people walk through. Oh, I think that's Jean.
That's very generous of you.
Well, these are my voters, right? So
That's true. They might not be, though. A couple of these might not be.
they're Paleshi's voters.
Yeah. That's true. They are.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right,
All right.
go knock him dead. All
Hi,
right, Lori.
Hi, everybody. We usually let the politicians do all the talking, but in this case, thank you for letting us say a few words about this announcement today. First and foremost, it's about collaboration. Councillor Michael Paleschi, MPP Graham McGregor, Councillor Navjeet Kaur Brar, Mayor Patrick Brown, Minister David Paleschi, Piscini, our wonderful volunteers, along with the City of Brampton, have been very supportive of the work we've been doing in this community. It's been a true collaboration between all stakeholders, our community, our volunteers, and all levels of government. But the most surprising aspect of this discussion today is that, yes, indeed, we have turtles in Brampton. That was a fact that, as one of our group's co-founders, I found the most surprising. The fact that Canada's 9th largest city has native turtles that live and reside in this large urban setting. We have turtles here. We decided to form a volunteer group to help protect these species in our region, to bring awareness to the public and to assemble and inspire regular citizens on their daily